stop texting if you want to be on the show.
Picture of a child that looks like a potato.
I don't care. So the
See, there you are. I told you. It's very hard to ignore the potato.
It's actually very hard to make me laugh.
Here it is.
Yeah, and if I laugh genuinely, properly, it is funny. Fair enough. So, where were we? We wanted to tell everyone not to send me voicemails, especially Matthew. I'm going to read out. Matthew sent like 15 emails and 8 voicemails, and one of them is like a well-structured message. So I'll read that in the next full-length episode. But like 15% of all incoming traffic to us has been from Matthew. There's also a question about why we don't have any other social media for the podcast. And I would like to say, firstly, we don't have TikTok because I'm not a 12-year-old girl who wants to give my data to the Chinese government. And we don't have the others because when you send in an email, I don't care if you make a dummy email account and keep it anonymous. That doesn't matter that you have to give your name or anything. It just makes you construct like a letter. And you're unlikely to just send in like, fuck you, Oompa Loompa, fat boy, or something like that. Or boobs with 7 zeros instead of O's. Yeah. So that's why we have the email address. And keep them coming. talkingasspodcast@gmail.com. So today we're doing something something fun, they say.
When you were younger, did you ever do the calculation that resulted in the word boobless?
Like,
on a calculator?
yeah, because I did something called advanced mathematics in high school, obviously,
Surprise.
between chess club and ballet. So advanced mathematics, we had these smart calculators. Some of them had games in them, but then they banned those because, they were addictive or whatever. So they banned those, but you could still save cheat notes in them. If you did calculations that come with a certain answer, you could type words, right? And then like flip the calculator over.
Upside down.
Yeah, upside
Do you
down.
remember the calculation?
I don't remember any of them, no.
No, I don't either.
Well, that's helpful.
The point is, we all thought it was like the only calculation you could do to get boobless, but really, it's just, 5, 5, 3.
Also, you can just write the numbers and press equal, and then you get it as well as a result that you can save in the memory. So, we're going to do some nonsense science today. No, I'm not going to call it science. We're going to do some nonsense today. And what, you're already making a face. You love this kind of stuff. So what we're going to do here, Sylvia, is we're going to limit the nonsense to astrology and meaning horoscopes and some palm reading and a short bit of tarot cards. Because I can't deal with all the nonsense. Can we at least agree that, like, grinding down rhino horns won't make your cock bigger? We're not going into that kind of nonsense.
No, but I would love to sage, and I haven't.
What does that mean?
Well, so cleansing your house of negative energy, you can clap, or you can ring bells, clap in the corner of the room, or you can use sage, literally, like, put it on your food, sage, but it's a bunch of sage.
This is...
light it and you waft it in your house.
I'm thinking of a genius burglary where I would go in and I'd tell all the dum-dums that I'm a sager or whatever, and I would make them stand in the corner and do claps and ring bells while I rob the house.
There might be easier ways to rob the house than that.
I'm thinking...
Like being a cleaner.
Yeah. I'm thinking there might be overlap between the people who believe in some of this stuff and the people who let me do that.
Probably.
I've been known to not believe in any of this nonsense, but actually that's not true at all. I think you can learn lots of things from reading someone's palms or tea leaves or horoscopes. If you do it thoroughly and really well, and you do all your research, and then you do a really good palm reading, then if you look at the person and they seem like they believe you, then you have learned that they're a fucking idiot.
See, this is going to be a challenging one for me, because if you think about it, astrology is Pisces in the sky right now over our heads, and then if that's your sign, there are things that happen because of that. And it's a bit like the moon. When it's closer, it affects people. I feel like that's a fact, but that might not be a fact from the way you're looking at me.
No, there is some moon weirdness that has some science behind it, but I don't know which parts, and it might just be that the seas get a little crazy, the oceans get a little crazy due to the tides, not the humans.
And my sister Angela gets a bit crazy on the full moon.
Yeah, met her once. I think she might be crazy anyway, but must have been a full moon. I do have to say that I respect that you did do some actual prep work in the sense that you wanted actual data points, like what time of day I was born, as if I knew that. But that makes me think, like, what if all the people who do all this prep work put all that work into the actual scientific process? We might have like a cure for cancer.
Possibly foresee whether we could or not.
But it's not on the tarot cards.
Not today. Not today. You never know.
Okay, so let's give it a go. Now, I see number 1 agenda item you have Pisces or Pisces.
Pisces is you. You're a Pisces from what I saw on your HR information. So you're Pisces. Do you want to know a bit about Pisces people? So I would, from our working relationship, I'd question some of these, but you're apparently idealistic. I'm nodding. Trusting. Boundary issues, like have trouble saying no to things that you don't really want to do. That, don't know. Compassionate, creative, and intuitive. Intuitive. I'm reading off my page.
What sign are you? Is your sign associated with like poor reading comprehension skills?
Read. Let's go to the negative. That's a good moment to go to the criticisms we have of Pisces is that, boundary issues, unrealistic expectations of partners, and then you've got the element sign. So Pisces is within the water sign. It's the 2 fish. It's one of the 3 or 4 of the 12 that are water signs. And water signs are emotional, intuitive, nurturing, have emotional depth, and spiritual sensitivity.
Yeah, I get very sensitive when people get spiritual around me. That's true.
Good way of saying it. And then what I thought I'd do is I'd just look up your compatibility with your partner, who's a Gemini.
How do you know that?
Files, Daniel. Okay. Files. I've got loads of files on you. All of them. You both have a creative spark. You're both apparently easygoing, and you both have an intellectual connection. But you have communication gaps because Pisces are so sensitive. Geminis apparently have commitment issues. So
I ask you, what star sign is your dog?
December, Cancer.
Okay. That doesn't bode well for his outlook, does it?
Nothing to do with the health problem.
I thought that was a star sign prediction.
No.
What's his name? Is it something like Fluff or Floof or something?
Vlad.
Vlad?
Yeah.
Is your dog named after Vlad the Impaler or Vlad the Lad Putin?
Put.
What?
Put.
You named your dog after Vladimir Putin. I'm hoping he was born before 2022.
No, yes, he was, yes.
Okay, good.
Why? What kind of spiritual guidance criteria are you screening him on?
I was going by that you didn't name your dog Vlad after the Russian invasion of Ukraine, because that would have been slightly...
Can I carry on?
So where were we?
You
got the negative traits, all right. So we've covered what Pisces are in general. How do you now tell me what's going on in my life now, and more interestingly, what will happen tomorrow and the week after that?
Yeah, so I asked my good friend Padre, and he's got...
Padre.
Yes. I don't think I'm able to roll my out. Padre.
Por favor, el hombre es padre.
So firstly, Padre, he says, it may sound paradoxical to say that if you have problems, you will be fortunate. But encountering obstacles you may circumvent is really, an opportunity to create powerful currents of good luck in a hurry.
Wow. Now, I would think I was being polite earlier. This definitely is nonsense. And I'm looking at this Padres horoscopes thing you're looking at. There's about 14-page essay, which I'm thinking is just AI generated. It's that lorem ipsum stuff they put on a Microsoft Word template document. That's what that looks like. It's just miles and miles of text that means nothing. This one I'm not impressed with. Let's go to the next nonsense science. This one was potentially worse than I thought it could ever be. Can I tell you, though, an anecdote about astrology? There's a place called Jaffa. That's the oranges are named after the place. And it's like an extension of Tel Aviv on the Mediterranean coast. And it's like Muslims, some Jews, some Christians. Like, they live mixed there. And one of the main, like, tourist attractions or one of the main, like, public areas is this park that has these ornate star signs. There's, like, this path that you can walk on with all the star signs. And I always wonder, like, how is that still standing? You'd think, like, isn't this blasphemous to all of them? And you'd think someone would have graffitied some kind of awfulness over that stuff. But yeah, if you're ever around Jaffa, there are other things to do there. But for you, maybe you'd like to walk over the star signs.
I would love it.
Yeah, it's kind of like their version of the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Knock off.
All right, so then we're going into, what is this? Hand reading, palm reading.
Palm reading. And I actually use palm reading as a bit of like a party trick because it's really quite fun.
Okay.
I think I had some friends round when I was at uni for Halloween and I got out tarot cards and palm reading. Yeah. And it was great.
All right, so
people love learning about themselves, even if it's not always accurate.
Yeah. Oh, well, I've signed an HR consent form, so you may touch my hand. Just don't touch the writing hand, because that's all of this is obviously pre-scripted content, so otherwise we're in trouble if I can't write every line of this podcast.
So right hand, I think, is your past. So not your past necessarily, but if you look at your right hand creases, then you're looking at the sort of stuff you were born with. And then obviously...
I'm familiar with my past. Can we try the future, please?
Yeah. That's left, everyone, just in case you didn't get that.
Left hand.
So the left hand, we're looking at the lifeline, which is the line going from the forefinger, rounded and arched, to the top of the wrist, the bottom of the palm. And if it's a big arc and it's clear of sort of fragments coming off it, which I think is yours. Yeah. Yours goes on quite far. It doesn't stop suddenly, which is always good because you know what that means.
Instant death.
Yeah. I love it. It means that the person is energetic and vibrant. The longer the lifeline, the better. People with a long lifeline are usually good at sports. There you are. If there's more than one lifeline, you only have one. You do have a fork coming off it. If it's broken, you had a sickly childhood.
Okay.
If it's frayed, which is what we have here, then you should pay much attention to your health problems when you're getting old. And then the heart line.
Did it just say you should pay more attention to your health when you're getting older if your palm has a certain type of line on it? We are quickly putting this in the bin of nonsense as well, you know? I think we're in that risky zone.
Heart. So heart goes down from the third finger, middle, in an arch towards the pinky, right? It starts from the middle finger, and if it starts from the middle finger, it usually means the person usually thinks more of themselves than their beloved.
I mean, that is 100% true. So, if you had to be honest with me, Sylvia, how much of this do you believe in? Because I'm getting a tad bit worried.
I love it.
Yeah, but you love it as just something to do for fun at a party. But do you actually believe in it?
I do. I wonder whether, so the children you're going to have is your, when you close your palm and look at the creases in your fist, on your pinky.
Creases in the Fist is another DVD I've owned.
That's horrible. Then I've got 2 lines, which means I will have 2 children. Don't know whether that's true yet, but it could be.
I think that's a common feature of all of these.
Exactly.
Can we move on to my favorite, the one I'm most excited about? So tarot card, is it tarot, like a parrot, or is it tarot, like French? Tarot.
Tarot. I used to say tarot like carrot.
Tarot cards. These have been in the same bin as Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones for me, like unwatchable nonsense. So where do you...
You've got to shuffle them.
All right, I'll shuffle.
Just, flap them so that they can hear the lovely sound of them. Not like that.
Oh.
Fan them, yeah. That was a good fan.
Well, I used to work in a casino. I didn't touch the cards. I was just a male escort, but still, I know the sound very well. That didn't improve my shuffling skills at all.
Now, intentionally think about the cards right now, please.
You should tell everyone, don't think about tarot cards. That way,
it's really good for talking radio as well, to just stop talking and think.
All right, I've shuffled. You shuffled your magic deck of cards with intent.
That's good.
All right.
Amazing. Right, so you're spread. How do you want to be spread, Daniel?
I like to be spread eagle.
Do you want a horseshoe? No, you don't. A cross
with my
card.
With my ankles pointing at the sky, and you're doing it hard.
Jesus, summer. I don't know.
Yeah.
So the 3-card spread is past, present, and future. It's just the simplest one, really. So let's go for it, shall we? You have shuffled them, which is lovely. I will lay them out so I can go through them and feel which one I want to.
So the actual administrator of the cards has to have magic properties to feel the correct ones in the deck.
My intent is strong right now. That's all I'm saying.
The force is strong within you.
Indeed. So what do the cards look like, Daniel, from the back?
Playing cards, but more rectangular, like stretched out playing cards. Yeah.
Bigger, aren't they?
Yeah, bigger.
So they do have sort of like the 4 suits, but they also have the major arcana.
So there's more cards than in a deck of cards, is there?
I think 21 additional cards, which are like, people in films doing tarots, they're like, you got the desk.
They're all medieval themed, I can see.
Yeah.
So if you pull the Black Death, is that bad?
There isn't the Black Death, so there's...
Or is that suddenly like you will find love around the corner from the man with the boils on his face?
Exactly, so death is like endings, new beginnings, and stuff like that.
It's a skeleton riding a horse.
Transformation, change, which is a blessing. But the one that's the really bad one is the Devil card.
I feel like that would be my friend.
You just feel a compliment from that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I feel like now we're going somewhere. Okay, we flipped one of my 3 cards, and I have received the pancakes.
Pentacles.
All right.
Pentacles, don't you?
I thought it said pancakes. And it has the Roman numeral 5, V. What does that mean?
5.
And don't consult a book. Just do your magic properties.
So I don't over represent myself as an expert on this. I'm learning.
So are you about to claim that you don't have magic properties?
No, they're just humble and modest.
All right. So what do I do with the...
So your past, poverty.
Poverty is past, present, and I'm assuming future.
No, that's your past.
Yeah.
Monetary loss, hardship. You'll not be alone in the misfortune because others will share in this fate. However, all's not lost, and a fresh opportunity awaits. You may be looking for financial or emotional support in the wrong place.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one.
The present.
I got the present is the High Priestess, and it's got the Roman numeral 2. So I have 2 High Priestesses.
When the High Priestess appears in the cards, a secret is about to be revealed. Often the card shows a strong female influence, and in a man's reading it can represent the most important woman in his life. The card shows mystic powers, psychic ability, and the unconscious mind. It relates to memory and intuition. Rely on your instincts, ass man.
Okay. So the most important woman in my life today, it was the lady who works at the convenience store, the corner shop, because she posted my Amazon return. It's the only woman I met today.
She's the one, really, isn't she? It all relies on her.
So we have flipped the 3rd card, and I have received 21 worlds. That's my future. The world is my future.
And that's your
disappointed there's no oyster in the picture, because then the world would be my oyster.
It's all a bit biblical, but it's also Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio somehow mixes into that. The completion of any task, the rewards of labour and success, triumph in all your undertakings, the end of one cycle and the start of another. This is considered the best card in the pack, showing that battles are over and triumph is yours. Congrats.
Thank you. And thank you for this reading. I think the cards are definitely the most fun. I have an instant business idea. I think instead of the medieval theme, you make them like sexy, like a bachelorette party, hen party deck. and then you can, whatever it is that women do in these things, they have a pillow fight and then they play tarot, though you can make them all sexual and giggle about it.
There's already Kama Sutra cards for that ends.
But then you could combine this nonsense with that nonsense, you see? I'm
trying to suggest that this is a very gendered field.
I have never seen a male gypsy in one of them trailers with like purple curtains and incense.
Padre, the guy that did your horoscope, he was definitely a man.
I once saw behind like a garden center, there was like this workshop of local artists, but they were also clearly homeless. Like they had fires going and they were brewing booze down there, but they were also fixing people's chairs and making some pretty cool art and stuff. And one of them had renovated an old school like gypsy traveler trailer, like one of those, you know, wooden, that's kind of oval and you climb on from the back, like what a fortune teller would live in. And I thought that was cool as hell. I don't even know what the price was, but I wouldn't have where to put it. But I think if you're gonna go into this tarot reading business, I think that's what you gotta sit in.
It's called a Vardo.
A Vardo, yeah, they are cool. As a public service announcement, I must say, have fun at parties. Don't necessarily base your decisions in life on this stuff. Obviously, none of this, though, is, I don't think, dangerous nonsense unless you're scamming people. Like, unless you're scamming stupid people are giving you money for this stuff, I think that becomes a little evil. But it's not like homeopathy or Chinese medicine that kills both humans and exotic animals. So I think it's overall it's quite cute and it's innocent and it's fine, but I did not feel the magic.
Just to say, I think if you do your tarot, like it's basically like a form of self-care mindfulness, because really you're looking at the cards, you're thinking of a question you want to ask and you're trying to get the answer, and it might help you clarify things in your head of what you want to find, what you don't want to find out, what you want, where you want to go next in your life. So it can be quite, even if it isn't like spiritually linked, it can be really quite nice and good for someone to do when they're maybe feeling a bit lost or wanting some confidence or wanting some luck, like manifesting your ideas like into reality.
Answers, comfort.
No, well, yeah, that, but also like when you start noticing things, then you see them everywhere, don't you?
Yes.
So it's that manifesting what you want in life as well.
Although it doesn't always work. Like I know it works like if you buy a Fiat, you're gonna see Fiats everywhere. But I discovered recently that gold is really valuable, yet I have yet to find any on the streets.
But you'll probably notice that you'll know more about gold after that, after your sudden interest.
Yeah, fair enough. You have a public service announcement?
Yes, don't be poo-pooing it, it's fun.
No, can't be related to this stuff. So I'm gonna have to have a real public service announcement.
Okay, I'd just say it's Pancake Day soon and you might not even follow its roots, but you can have a pancake, couldn't you?
Your public service announcements are the best. Yeah, they're excellent. That's a great one. And I'll say, Pancake Day or not, stay tuned for what do we have this week on the calendar? Who's coming for the end of the week?
Appointment with...
The music one.
Yes.
I believe it's finally music. Cool. Stay tuned.